We are now live. What up, everybody? What up? What up? Welcome to this video, Wholeness, High Vibrations, and Greatness. Sending you all of that great energy your way. I'm excited to have you here today. I'm your host, Mr. Michael Overdeliver Baptiste, bringing you value as always. And today, we got some special kind of value that we've been cooking up. Now, I always bring you things that are going to be beneficial, supportive, and helpful to you, your life, and your business. Well, guess what? Today, ain't nothing changed, baby. In fact, we actually got better because we have an expert that's coming on today. But not only is this gentleman that we're bringing on an expert, he's also somebody that's well established in the industry. He's been in the industry for quite some time now, helping others people get really great results. This man, he is an author. Okay, and one of his books, I've actually purchased this book, which is a really great book. Helped me with mindfulness, and highly recommend his books. And he'll share more about what he's written and put out there when he comes on today, this special guest speaker. He's also a speaker. He's an established speaker, and he's a video coach. He has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs, experts, coaches to scale their business with video. Not only that, but he's also a world traveler. This man is a digital nomad, so he has a plethora of experiences, knowledge, and wisdom that he'll be able to share and impart on our show today. He's also been featured on the EO Fire podcast, or the Entrepreneur on Fire podcast with John Lee Dumas like I said, the Entrepreneur on Fire podcast. Okay. He has been featured on entrepreneur.com, one of the most famous business magazines out there. If you ever heard of entrepreneur.com, this brother has been featured on there. So he's the real deal. Okay. He's spoken on stages, and he's spoken at conferences. He's spoken on stages and conferences like the podcast movement, okay, and AC3, okay. So he's also been interviewed and mentored by video titans like Gary Vee. So if you ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, this man has actually had that opportunity to work with him privately. He's also worked with Sean Cano, okay, Sean Cano. Hope I got your name right there, Big Sean. And he's also worked with people like Ray Higdon. Not only all of that greatness, but I want to let you know personally, he is a friend of mine. He's a brother of mine. He's a dynamic individual. He's a dynamic being, a great being. He cares for other people. Okay, he's a family man. I mean, this brother is absolutely off the chain. So I'm excited to bring you and introduce to you my friend, the legend, Mr. Vernon Foster.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, baby? Who's in the house?
Yes.
He's in the house.
Vernon's in the house.
And all the people in the back go.
Yeah, Vernon's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I forgot to mention to you, Vernon is also an international DJ. This man has been DJing all over the country and in different countries around the world. Oh man, I love it, man. Bro, I love your energy, man. You always bring the energy, brother.
Always.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on. How you doing, man?
Things are good, man. Here in New York, we're enjoying the summer, so just taking it all in, and I'm happy to be here to just drop some wisdom, some gifts on your people, on your community here, and thank you for the opportunity. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, brother, man. It's an honor to have you here. This is not your first rodeo. We've done something similar before, introduced you to our community, and we had a really great response, honestly. And I was excited to do this again. I'm grateful that we set up the time, and so I want to get right into it because for most of our audience who have met you before, and some of our audience that have not met you before, man, I want to get into a little bit of your story. So would you be open to sharing a little bit about your story? How did you get here? Like, what led you into doing this type of work, and then bring us up to speed on where you are now with what you do.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm happy to share. So my journey into podcasting, video, all of this started like 10 years ago. So I uploaded over 10 years ago, I uploaded my first video back in 2010. So you can actually go and look, and there's like all these like ugly YouTube videos that I made back then. But So that was like my journey into online marketing, my foray into digital marketing, into the space. And one of the things that I did early on, you know, as I started my first business when I was 19, right? So I was able to flip, and that was an entertainment business, DJing at college and parties and events. And I was able to kind of flip that into, parlay that, if you will, into the world of video and podcasting. So fast forward, graduate college rather. I go into the corporate world. That was in 2009. If anybody was around that time, you know that was like the time where we had the Great Recession. So I kind of had to figure out, how do I make money if real estate is not going to be the thing that I'm actually able to make money in? Because everybody's losing their homes, right? Not a good space to be in. So I took my talents into really honing in on how to use video to build intimacy and a connection with people across the internet. That brought me to starting in 2014. I started PodParrot, which is a company that I started, a done-for-you video and podcast editing service. And to present day now, just coaching, helping people with strategy and helping them really understand how to leverage video specifically for their business. So subject matter experts, coaches, entrepreneurs, anybody that really sells high ticket and that wants to build a intimate relationship with their audience in order to facilitate sales and facilitate really like selling at scale. That's what I do today. Now, I love this, man. I love the fact that, you know, video is so powerful. Audio is so powerful that you can see this and listen in on this conversation today. And you know, you can, a year down the road, you see me on the corner and you're, oh my gosh, that's Vernon Foster, man. He sat down with Mike, you know, like that's the beauty of this medium. Like, people can literally feel your energy. And when you become magnetic, right, you almost attract money, right? You almost, like, people can't escape your gravitational pull. And so they want to do business with you. They want to be a part of your community. They want to show up to your webinars. They want to follow you on social media, right? And that's what I teach people today, just how to leverage that skill, how to get comfortable on video, how to show up as their authentic self. So when you put yourself out there, you're literally magnetizing money through video.
Excellent, man. That's excellent. You know, you share something like you started a while ago, right? You didn't start yesterday. So you've been doing this for some time. And that's how you develop a lot of experience and wisdom over that time from then to now. What would you say are the two biggest lessons you've learned? I know this is a tough question, but what are like two big lessons you learned over the last decade plus that have really said, hey, look, video is the way to go. I'm going to go with video. Like, what would be two of those key lessons you learned?
Yeah, so there was this interesting thing that happened. A guy, I was at a podcast movement when I was speaking there some years ago, and I was in the lobby talking to a guy. And so as I'm talking, this gentleman, he goes, Vernon, is that you, Vernon? And I turn around and he goes, you're Vernon Foster, right? From the whatever show, right? The back then I had a podcast. And so he said, I heard your voice across the room and I automatically knew it was you. And he's like, man, I feel like I know you. Like, he's like, we've never met, but I feel like I know you. And to me, that was like a very aha moment, right? Like it was this thing that went off in my head. I go, oh my gosh, this is the future. This is how people are going to build and facilitate connection, right? This is how people are going to fall in love with you, right? I'm a celebrity to that guy, right? I'm not a celebrity, right? I'm just like this normal internet marketing guy who's figured some things out, right? But to that guy, I was a celebrity in his mind, right? Like he kind of like looked up to me as his hero. So to me, that's actually the first lesson, Mike. That's the first lesson. Like, if you can put yourself out there and authentically do it, people are going to recognize you. They're going to see you. They're going to pay attention, and they're going to feel like they're going to feel that connection. They're going to feel like they know you. And that's going to build that know, like, trust. So that's the biggest one. Like, putting yourself out there facilitates the know, like, trust, and connection. And the second thing, and this is the most important, is that if you want to go far, if you want to go faster, get support. If you want to go slow, do it alone, right? So there are so many things that I did early on that I had to just, I cut my teeth, and I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to learn the hard way, right? I could have basically cut my time down in half by studying. And that's what I eventually started to do. I go, okay, well, who's doing this that's crushing it? Oh, Gary Vee, Sean Cannell, right? Ray Higdon. These are people that, like, it's like, okay, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to run up on these guys at conferences, and I'm just going to interview them, right? I'm going to have the kahunas to just be like, hey, look, let me pull you aside. I got to ask you this question right now, Gary Vee. You going to answer this question on the spot. And I have a video of me doing that, right? So that was the other thing. It's like, once you start to get like the support and you have the systems in place, it almost like, it's like the rocket fuel that you're just pouring on the campfire, right? It just ignites everything, and you're able to just kind of just blast off. So I'd say those are the two most important things.
Right on. Thank you for sharing that, man. Look, for those of you who are watching live, please let me know, like, where are you tuning in from? Like, let me know, is what Vernon's saying resonating with you? Because he just dropped some very valuable tips. And I just want to make sure that for you and the audience, you're able to absorb this wisdom, because, I mean, this man has a plethora of it, and he's sharing it right now for free. So I just want to make sure that our audience, wherever you're at, whether you're watching this in our community, watching on social media, on any of our channels or our podcast, that you are retaining this information, because this can absolutely help you. Okay. And just as a side note, bro, I just want to share something. After we had I think last year we did a session like this and brought you on, and you shared a lot of insights. Some of our clients who actually attended that session, they came to me in our coaching session, and they were, sharing all types of things. I was like, whoa, you actually listened to what Vernon had to say. That's amazing. That's amazing. And now, like, I'm seeing more of our students and clients doing more videos, and I'm putting themselves out there more. So, regardless of how the work went, like, you have actually made an impact and inspired people in our community.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bro. No, really, thank you, man. Thank you, because it's about helping other people, and so you do a great job of it. And I just want to make sure that everybody who's watching, like you listening, you watching this, please take notes, and please let us know, like, what are you picking up on as we are going through the session. So let's get a little bit more practical, right, in terms of what's working in the market today. So when it comes to video, there's all types of things going on, man. There's live videos, long form, there's short form videos, there's these things called reels that people are talking about. What would you say, like, right now in this time, 2022, at the time of this recording, what would you say is working right now, and how would you recommend people go about maximizing the strategies that are working right now with video?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a secret, but short form video is where it's at right now, right? You look at TikTok, you look at Reels, you look at YouTube Shorts, right? Like, short form content is in the zeitgeist everywhere, and it's the reason why it's winning is because it's like the bite size pieces, right? It's like you can consume, it's consumable, right? It's digestible. You don't have to spend a lot of time to consume a 30-second or a 60-second video. Now, the opportunity is to start to get there, right? If you're not on Reels, start doing Reels, IG Reels. If you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok. If you're not doing Shorts, do that, right? But that's just that's one piece of the strategy. Because if you just do that alone, if you just do short form video and that's it, that's not going to be enough to get you the traction that you need to get to 6 and 7 figures and beyond, right? There's other pieces of the pie that you have to put in. And beyond that, right, it's like, how do you know what content to talk about? How do you, how do you build out your schedule? What's your publishing calendar look like? How often should you, post? What are the hashtags, right? There's all of these nuances that come with it that, it's easy to get caught up in. It's easy to get overwhelmed, right? But the most important thing is to start. So I'd say short form video is where it's at. That's what's happening right now. That's something that if you're not paying attention to today, right now. Please start paying attention to it. Because, and when I say pay attention, I mean, it's like jump in, get in the game, get out of the stands, get on the field, be a player in the game. And so another piece of that's hot, right? Another thing that's hot, right? You have captions, right? You've probably seen the Alex Hormozis. You've probably seen the Gary V's. Obviously, everybody knows Gary V by now, right? The Grant Cardones of the world. When you look at these people's short form videos, what do you see? You see the captions they're changing colors and they have the emojis in them, right? It's like, it's not enough to just have the boring captions that are black and white across the bottom of your screen anymore. Now, yes, you should have those on YouTube, and that we'll talk about that later on down the road as we continue throughout the week and what we're going to be delivering you guys here and the nuances of all those platforms. But that's a trend that I see that's like, it's not going away. People have short attention spans. You have to be able to capture their attention quickly. You have to be able to lock them in if you want and engage them if you want them to consume your content. The other piece of that that I wanted to mention is that the hooks, right? Like never before have I seen so many so many videos like need hooks, right? Like if you don't have a hook, if you don't have in the first 30, 60 seconds, even if you're doing a long form video, even if you're doing a how-to on YouTube, or if you're doing a live stream, you need to have a strong hook. If you're not hooking people in the first 30 to 60, not even the first 30 to 60 seconds, the first 5 seconds, if they're not hooked, they're gone, right? They're on to the next one. And so you have to be able to deliver. You have to be able to, one, have a strong hook, and two, be able to deliver on that hook. People don't want the clickbaity stuff anymore. Stop with the clickbait. Stop, with the sensationalized headline. Don't be like the news. Don't be like the news, please. With the sensationalized headline, and then you're faking them out. You're not even delivering what you're saying you're going to deliver. You need to have a strong hook, and then you need to deliver on that promise. So I would say those are the trends. Short form video, whether it's Reels, TikTok, or Shorts, get on it. That's where it's at. That's where it's going down at. That's the arena right now where the kids are playing, and the men and the women, or the boys and the girls, are becoming men and women. So you got to be in there. You got to get out of stands. You got to get on the field. Okay. Number two, the captions. You got to have the captions. You got to have the emojis. And three, you got to have the strong hook, baby.
Excellent, man. Thank you for recapping it. Thank you for sharing that wisdom. So for the person who's out there like, hey, look, this is great, but how do I actually make money from just doing these shorts and reels and things like that? How would you recommend a person go about actually making money with their videos and following some of the strategies you shared?
Yeah, that's a great question. And thanks for asking. So there's a couple ways you can monetize. You can monetize directly on platform, right? So you can unlock monetization on IG, on TikTok, right? You could do branded partnerships, right? That's another way you can monetize. My favorite way, you can do affiliates, of course, and my favorite way is to have your own products, right? To sell your own programs and coaching, because here's the reality, right? Like you're kind of pimping out your audience if you're, and when I say pimping for the kids who don't know that, you're basically like renting out your audience by selling other people's products or promoting other people's products. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. You got to start somewhere. You got to make money. You're trying to build a business. Whatever revenue you can generate, you can regenerate. But if you want to scale, if you want to do this correctly, if you want to go to the moon, if you want to build a community and an audience of long-term engaged, committed fans and customers that see you as the hero and that will continually replenish your bank account month after month after month, it's about leading with value, with the understanding that you're going to see that on the back end, right? So this is where a lot of the things that, Mike, you talk about with high ticket come into place, right? You got to have a high ticket offer, right? If you don't have a high ticket offer, good luck, right? It's going to be so much harder for you to reinvest back in your business, to hire professionals, to hire a team, to scale, to run ads, if you're not selling something that's high ticket, right? So you can start with monetizing on the platform, but you just have to set your expectations, right? You have to understand that that's not going to be money that pays your rent every month, right? And unless you're in the top creme de la creme, right? Or you really dial in brand partnerships, affiliates, that's an opportunity, right? But it's going to take time doing it those ways. You can start making money today by having a high ticket offer, building a relationship with people, sending them to your landing page, getting them in your Facebook group, getting them in your community, getting in the DMs, and then building that conversation, right? And building that trust. That's how you're going to be able to make the most amount of money quickly. But yeah, those would be the main ways. So just to recap, monetizing on platform, right? You can also do affiliates. You can definitely sell high ticket, and you can do branded stuff. So those are the ways to monetize.
Excellent, man. I love it. I love it. And these are all ways that, for you watching in the audience, they're realistic. Like, these are things that can absolutely be done. And in fact, people are doing them every single day.
That's right.
I'm sure that you see your clients monetizing video every single day with these strategies. So that's great.
100%. 100%.
That's great. That's great. So for the person who's watching this and they're like, well, I think I should do video, but man, should I do live video? Should I do pre-recorded video? Like, I'm not sure, what should I do? What would you recommend for that person who's trying to figure out, how to get started with either live video or pre-recorded video? What would be your recommendations?
Yeah. So the thing about lives is that the barrier to entry is a lot lower, right? Because you think when you go live, you live. Like, we live right now. We live. There ain't no editing and come and go, oh, I don't like that, little pimple on my forehead. No, you can't take that back. When you're live, you're exposed, you're out there, right? So That's what I like about lives. On the recorded side, right? You have to have an editor, or you have to have aptitude in that skill set, right? Everybody doesn't know how to edit good video, right? It takes time to build up that skill. But if you're going live, you just have a nice background, you have a nice, light, you have a nice, camera, you're good. You don't need too much, right? But as you get into, like, you're saying, oh, I'm going to do a long form video that I'm going to put on YouTube, then you're kind of starting to get into the territory where you got to learn editing or outsource to an editor, which to me, like, I personally am not a huge fan of editing a ton of video. So it's easier for me to just go live. Right. Now the counterpoint, the argument for recorded video is that some people just aren't comfortable going live. They're completely afraid, and they have to do a couple takes. And so with recorded, you can do a couple takes. You can go back, you can edit things out. Just realize that it's going to take you longer. That's another barrier that you're putting in front of yourself, and before you put it out. So, right, you can get into your head. The self-worth Sam, starts showing up, and the chatter starts going off, and now the video just sits on your hard drive or your phone. And I've had, most people record videos and they never put them out. So I would say try going live, try recorded, but try going live first to see, just like, even if you're intimidated by it, just try it, because it's going to allow you to get out there faster and fail faster and learn faster and get the reps. So that's what I would say. I think you're muted.
All right, fantastic. See, look, there you go. That shows you don't have to have it perfect on video. You just need to put yourself out there and just go with the flow. Yeah, but great share there, man. And I was just reiterating that you mentioned something really great, which is editing, because every great video audio person, like, if you're doing pre-recorded, at least, you got to edit it. You must edit it to be able to stay up to date with the times. Like you said, the captions, the changing colors and the words and the emotions, the emoticons or emojis or whatever it is. So for the person that's out there, like, editing is not really my strong point, but like, I hear you, coach, and I'm going to figure out how to do editing. What would be some tips that you recommend and give to the person who's looking at, getting started with editing and editing some of their content in a short amount of time to put it out there? What would be some of your recommendations?
I have two right now that you don't need to have a fancy. You don't need Adobe or any of those suites or any of that stuff. If you have a smartphone, I'm looking for my phone. If you have a smartphone, right, and we'll actually probably do a demo of this if we have time later on in the week. But there's this app that I love. It's called InShot. It's so easy. I'm just gonna show you guys here. That's InShot right there, right? That's the interface. Pretty easy. You just upload a video, you throw some captions on it, you export it, and then you can upload it. The cool thing about editing from your phone is that you don't have to get caught up into transferring files, and you can just upload it right there to TikTok, to YouTube, or whatever, right? Whatever platform you're using. So I would say InShot is my go-to. The other one, if you like the way that the editor is set up on TikTok, if the native editor that's built into TikTok, if you played around with that, there's a tool that they make called CapCut. It's actually owned by the same company, BitDance, and it's basically very similar to what you would use on TikTok. So if you're like stuck or you're not really sure, what's cool about these editing tools is that they're just so like dumbed down, right? I'm not calling people are dumb, but I'm just saying like they're like my little niece was editing on it the other day, right? Like she can edit videos at 11 years old, right? So that just gives you some insight into like how easy it is for people to edit. Right? I know like you most people probably get in their head that, I gotta edit video, it's gotta look a certain way. But my motto is make ugly videos. Make ugly videos, make 50 to 100 ugly videos, and then you can focus on making sure your videos are pretty later on down the road. Because if you focus on being a perfectionist up front, which we'll talk about later on this week, that's actually one of the biggest barriers and one of the biggest mindset blocks that people have to overcome, especially like A-type personalities where everything has to be like, like to the T, like dot, right? Like that doesn't work in a space where like you need to get out content and start building your audience and get in front of people, right? So I would say that CapCut and InShot are the two go-to apps that I recommend.
Excellent recommendation there, brother. And so for the person who's looking to, work on their skills, develop their skills, like what would be some things that you provide or like ways that you help people in order to improve their editing skills and video skills?
Yeah, so it depends on where they're at. One of the primary things that we do when we're working with our clients is we do an assessment, right? So you can think of an assessment of like an intake. It's like, okay, like what am I good at? Where do I need to work? It's almost like a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? So what are my strengths? If somebody has no camera experience whatsoever and they're just terrified, right? Like the stage fright is something they deal with on a regular basis. We got to work on that confidence, baby. We got to get you to a place where you're coming out of like you feel like you're coming out of the tunnel and you're coming on stage and you're like LeBron James and you're like, let's go, let's get on video. Like that's the energy that I teach my clients and students to bring, right? Because energy is money. When people feel your energy, it creates emotion and people buy based on emotion, right? So if you're transferring that energy, like that's going to be what you want. So if somebody's completely green and they have no skills whatsoever, then we start there. It's like we got to help you build your confidence. That's the first thing. Now, the second piece you mentioned about editing, right? Like we want you to be able to have the minimum amount of barrier to getting started and getting out there, right, as possible. So in that assessment, maybe we see that, okay, this person has a little bit of editing skills or they have used maybe like the Adobe suite, right? So then maybe it's not so much about the editing for them and we jump straight to the strategy, right? So in that case, it's like, okay, who's your audience? What platform are they on? How should you be getting in front of them? What's the type of content that you need to be putting out there? How can, in terms of the consistency, how much do you have to be putting out, which days? And that's where a lot of people like falter, right? They're, when my clients come to me, they range from all across the spectrum, right? They could be completely afraid and introverted, so they don't want to be on camera. They could already have a nice setup, like my guy Andrew. He was already doing TikToks and some reels and Instagram, right? But he was kind of all over the place, right? He was talking about multiple different topics, and that's not something that you can do if you're trying to build a dedicated audience. You have to be dialed in and know exactly who you're talking to, and your content has to speak consistently over and over and over and over again to the pain and the problem, so they know that you're the solution, right? It's pain, problem, here's the solution. Pain, problem, here's the solution. So depending on where people are at, we work with people across all their spectrum, right, to help them get to a place where they feel comfortable, confident, and most importantly, they're making money with their videos.
Excellent, man. I love it. I love to hear it. We have so much. I know you have so much more to share. You have so much more in store. But what we're going to do, bro, because the reality is that we just don't have enough time. And I know your time's valuable. My time's valuable. And for those who are watching, your time's valuable as well. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're gonna bring today's interview to a wrap up here momentarily, because we got more content coming over the next few days. We're gonna be going into some greatness. Oh man, he's gonna be bringing it all to you, ladies and gentlemen. The hooks, the jabs, the uppercuts, all of it. Get ready. He's gonna absolutely do a knockout performance. So you want to be here. You want to tune in. Okay, we're gonna be going live, and I'm bringing more value the rest of this week. And we're gonna be wrapping up this week with an actual workshop. Okay, teaching you how to use video to create magnetizing videos that are going to attract people to you, okay, attract them to your offers, and get them to want to do business with you. So stay tuned, because we got a lot more to share. And but Vernon, before we wrap up and get out of here, man, do you have any final words, any final thoughts to share on this introductory video session?
Yeah, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're listening to this and you got any kind of inkling of value, if you were just like, oh, that's a gem right there, I love that. Like, whoo, get ready for tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And the workshop that we're going to take you guys through is going to blow your mind. I mean, this is stuff people pay me thousands of dollars for, that I worked out with Mike. He said, look, man, like, I'm just come through, do this for my audience. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. So he's doing you guys a huge, massive favor, for me to come here and spend my time with you. And not free of charge, right? Like there's no, I'm just giving you guys value. So I would say that's it, man. Like if you got any value today, come back for tomorrow, baby. Because this is the warm up at the track meet. We're not even on the track yet. We just warming up. We just stretching. That's it.
There it is. Hey, we just stretching it out. So for those of you who are ready, please make sure that you show up to tomorrow, because we got more coming, and we're going to have a workshop, okay, at the end of this week. So make sure that you tap in and tune into this. But Vernon, man, great job today. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on,
thank you.
Sharing the value, sharing some wisdom, sharing your time today. I won't keep holding you, because I know that you have other things and clients and other business to take care of, and it's actually winding down in the evening for you. So I won't keep holding you, so you can get to the rest of your evening. But
yeah,
once
winding
again,
down
brother,
here on the West Coast, and the wifey's like, let's go, it's dinner time. Yeah,
man. Yeah, you got to listen to the boss lady. The boss lady got dinner ready, so it's time to go. It's time to go. So look, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching, please comment your thoughts below. Share your feedback. What was one of the most valuable takeaways from this video that you picked up? And let us know, are you excited about the upcoming session tomorrow and the upcoming workshop the rest of this week? Please let us know in the comments. But otherwise, that's it for today. We're now going to wrap up. Vernon, any final words, any final thoughts just before we get out of here?
This is your opportunity. This is the time. Like, if you've been sitting back in the stands, on the sideline, now's the time to get in the game. We're at this critical juncture, and this opportunity isn't going to be around forever. What's cool about this opportunity is that although, everybody seems like they're on video, that's not the case. There's a lot of people that are hanging out in the background. So if you get out early, you get out of the blocks early, you get a head start, that's going to give you not only momentum, but you're going to get that audience. You're going to get that audience, right? You're going to be the you're going to be the person, the entrepreneur that your clients look up to, and therefore they're going to want to hire you to be in service to them. So that's the opportunity today. Don't wait. Don't keep putting it off. Stop making excuses. Let's go.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Stop making excuses. Don't put it off any longer. Let's go. Now is the time. Vernon, thank you so much, brother. Once again, man, you did an excellent job. And we'll stay tuned for day 2, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, we're out of here today. And that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.